2025. Let the record reflect that the meeting has been posted in accordance with Texas Government Code 551, better known as Texas Open Meetings Act, and the quorum of commissioners is present and established. At this time, Ms. Paula, has anybody asked to speak on the line before? Nope, nobody signed up. That makes an amazing couple of meetings in a row there. Like never has that happened now. I'm not taking it off, because someday somebody will take us up on it, but until then, here we are. All right, moving along right into the special meeting agenda, we have our Pledge of Allegiance. Let's go ahead and get that done. Anybody showed up from Hillsborough Ministerial Alliance? Never did that. No, especially. Okay, well, we'll give it a prayer meeting. Oh, you want to do that? Okay.
Father, we thank you Lord for this day. We just ask you to be with each commissioners, all the decisions that have to be made. We ask you blessings on it. We thank you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Welcome, pledge American and thank the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas. One state, under God, one indivisible. Hey, thanks all for being with us today. Appreciate everybody for being here. So we're gonna move on through. Is there anybody at this point for open forum? Well, one is advice, we'll come back to it if we need to. Let's jump into the court orders today. Number one, we have employee wage and status changes for this state. Oh, forgive me, I jumped to consent. I apologize, gentlemen. This lack of sleep is not doing me any good. So no, it's the consent agenda.
Pay attention, Shane.
Very good. Action on minutes, invoices, payroll, monthly report, revenue disbursement, and elected official certificate of training. I have Mr. Holcomb here, and I have Mr. Larry Tompkins. And
Mine is not for me.
what's that?
I haven't got mine yet.
Okay, as soon as you get you, we'll have your.
I'll get it.
Well, that's last year. They just now sent me a certificate for last year.
You're exactly right. That's from 2024.
No, I'm waiting on this year's.
I
got mine Tuesday, I think.
Yeah, February 18th, 20th, and 25. Well, we too. No, we'll get something done. All right. Is there any discussion regarding any of the above?
Second motion.
say,
Have a motion and a second, and any further discussion? Hearing none, all in service, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion will carry. Pass that around. Now I can jump over to the employee wage and status changes. For this date, this fourth, we have new hires. Emily Payne in the sheriff's office. Welcome aboard. She's going to be a jailer trainee. Gabriel Zarate in the sheriff's office. Again, jailer one. Congratulations. And then we have some wage change forms. We have Hunter Egan in the sheriff's office. He's going to be jailer two. He has his FTO pay. So those are the wage status changes.
make a motion approved.
Motion and second to approve. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion shall carry unanimously. I'll pass around the order. Number two, discuss and approve Cook County subdivision rules and regulations. Well, some of y'all got an email about 9 o'clock last night. What we've done is taken the last document we had, we put all of the county surveyor incidents requested changes to it. We put those in. Mr. Donnie Petey and company have pointed out a couple of things by email that we've corrected, namely in the minor plat, we had messed up and said 10 acres or more, it needed to be 10 acres or less. So we got that corrected. And you will see some other changes in here. So going through this, I'm not going to take all day, but we're going to move through it. The first is your table of contents. What I'm going to ask today is approval of this document, ultimately with the caveat of final review by the county surveyor and the county attorney. And we're not going to drag this out, but we need to make sure one last time typos and that everything that I put in here, and I said, hey, it goes back to this law is correct. But I'm also going to put a cover sheet on this. But about 9 o'clock last night, I knew I had to get up at 2 o'clock this morning to watch the weather. So I just kind of said, okay, this is what you guys get today. All right, so you look at your table of contents and how we've structured things. You have introduction, definition, section 2, section 3 is preliminary plat. Section 4, final and replat. We merged those together for brevity because those requirements should be pretty close to the same. Section 5 is amendments, 6 is minor plats, 7 manufactured home rental community, 8 is recreational vehicle, tiny home community, temporary rental community, or short-term rental community. 9 is engineering plans, 10 is construction requirements. 11 subdivision plat cancellation, which we need to address because there are some old subdivision plats in this county. Canceling one is a bit of a chore. Number 12 is variances because there will be some time time enforcement, 14 severability, because as an attorney, you want to make sure you screwed up in one place, everything else still stands up. Then we have our attachments behind that, and that's the plating fee schedule, the administratively complete checklist for plats, the extraterritorial jurisdiction affidavit, the professional services compensation agreement is in there. That's Danny Bodker, and I love him, but I just hung up on him, so don't just tell me that. Anyway, the pre-construction conference agenda, and the very last 68 is the Hill County subdivision process. That is the document whereby it tells you step by step what you need to do to get a subdivision plat before the board can move forward. We had a 16-year-old reader, and she understood it quite well and could repeat back to us what we were trying to do, so we feel comfortable that it's understandable. All that being said, the changes that we have had since the last time we met basically mostly deal with technical aspects of the plat, mostly. There are a couple of things regarding changes in the law, for example, the groundwater. If you're using groundwater or you plan to not use a public water supply, you have to have now, as of January 1st, 2024, under the local government code, you have to have an engineer with a special qualification to go do a study and say, yes, there is groundwater here and there is enough to meet this. If you are planning on putting in one well to serve multiple houses, we now talk about, hey, you got to get a CCN, certificate of convenience and necessity. Now, those of us that call it city water still, because we just never grew up with the terminology. If you ain't got city water or county water or some kind of water, then that's what we require. So water is one of the things we focused on in here simply because it's so important. It's been the limiting factor over the years. And we're trying to make sure that somebody doesn't come in and do something that's like, hey, here's a bill to sell somebody a lot and they can't get any water. We're requiring anything that's going to be having engineering requirements, legal requirements, where we have to send it for engineering or legal review. We're going to require the developer to put up an agreement, sign an agreement with us, and that would be when your annex, which is professional services compensation agreement, and then put up a retainer amount. And that agreement, we use the money in there we use to cover the county's costs, because I don't believe that the county taxpayer should be subsidizing developers. And unfortunately, that's happened once or twice in the past, and I'm going to put an end to it. So that's the reason we're doing it. If you're chunking up land to sell it, great. But if you're going to put roads, you're going to put drainage on it, and we have to have an engineer review it. We have Jesse, and he's an engineer, but sometimes we got to send things out. So we're going to pay for that. We believe that the people doing the division should have to pay for that. It's a long document, but it is 11 pages shorter than the last one. So I think we're making movements in the right direction. It's not at 70 to 81 pages. Questions?
Yeah.
Shoot. Which page?
Under minor plats, you changed this.
Okay, let's go. Which page?
21.
21? Gotcha. 21. So
Changed the last 10 acres.
Yeah.
I thought you were.
no, that's on minor plat, sir. It's not every plat. That's on minor plats. So no preliminary final plat shall be required for the provisions of this section apply. A minor plat will be allowed for any subdivision in which only one lot is being platted, one lot minor, or in which no road drainage improvements are required and each lot contains less than 10 acres.
Required by who?
What is that?
Required at all?
No, any,
Developer or by us?
so we take, yes, either way. That's the answer. Short answer is yes. So if somebody is going to propose putting a road to drain, for example, the conversation I had earlier this morning with a textile engineer. They're getting really finicky about allowing access on and off their road because of the growth. And I get it, they don't want multiple access points. So if the developer comes in and says, hey, I got 40 acres, and I will put 20 lots, it's 2 acre lots. Well, the textile may say, well, you can't use but our state highway or every road, you're gonna put one access
All internal.
internal. Well, then they'd be required to build roads or they're required to build drainage. Those things won't fall in a minor plat. They're not allowed to. If it's over 10 acres, it won't fall in a minor plat. Know that the way the code reads that if it's over 10 acres now and there is drainage or road construction proposed, we have to regulate it. I think that is a fair reading of the subdivision rules and regulations in the state of Texas as they sit. So if it's over 10 acres and you're proposing a road for public use, a public park, a public space, or drainage, then we have a duty at this point to overlook it.
Thank you for the clarification.
Yes, sir.
I have one question about the minor plat. we're not gonna require utility certificates or others in minor classes.
Bear with me just a second. I want to make sure I address this correctly. The answer is, I believe we should. And you're right, the way we put it in here, it doesn't say that, so that needs to be added to it. Thank you, good catch.
So would you add that there and then first? Or second sentence?
I would. So, no, it will, it will. It does. Here's where I'm confused. Forgive me. I'm got 4 hours sleep on me and I apologize. 6.1, page 21, minor plat requirements. All the requirements of section 4 final plat and replat shall apply to minor plats. They're going to have to provide the same documentation and the same plat. If that's not clear enough, we can add a sentence saying, to the end of that requirements, and it shall require all the documentation. And which is still probably a good idea to make it clear, because if we're having questions, we need to make it clear for the public. So I will add. Okay, good deal. Good question. Thank you. That's the reason we do this, is because I have not my best proof. You can't really proofread your own stuff, right?
That's it. That's all I had.
70 pages and you can only throw in one bone. Come on, guys.
Well, we could just take a minute and read it with you.
Good. But anyway, this is a culmination of, a long time, and a lot of people put hard work into this, and I really appreciate it. But I think it's going to give us a steady platform to start going forward. But what I would ask is that the court approve the subdivision rules and regulations, contingent upon the final review from the county surveyor and the county attorney. And then once they have given their blessing, then we go ahead and vote.
And if they find any major revisions. and
Any
they
major
take that
comebacks, scrivener errors, things like that, clearly, I think we should give them authority to, hey, we can deal with this, just, misspellings or headings, things like
Is that a
that.
motion?
Yes, that was a motion. Motion, second. You guys really want to talk about subdivision, Christ, I like that. All right, motion and second to approve the proposed Tift County subdivision rules and regulations contingent upon final review by the county surveyor and the county attorney. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, any abstentions, motion carries. Number 3, discuss an action to authorize the Cook County Judge to sign the post oak water supply documentation. Ladies and gents, we have, we were successful in applying for a CDBG grant, a Community Block Development Grant to the Texas Department of Agriculture. We applied about 2 years ago, applied back in 22, got notified in 24 that we've got a $500,000 grant on their behalf. We have some language that we need to approve between the two. We've done this previously, once before. We acted in this capacity. It's, I don't know, fiscal agent, but it's almost fiscal agent for when we're Osceola water supply and then what happened. And we may have done one other time, somebody told me, but I can't remember what that one was. But right now, that's the question is, okay, we've got the documentation, and what it is a couple of things. Number one is your engineering, architectural, surveyor services, and this is an agreement that between county judge, or Hill County, sorry, and a firm called Stanley R. Hayes PE, and they're making water system improvements to the Post Oak Special Utility District. This is over in the southeastern part of our county. It talked about the scope of services, goes through record retention, compensation, method of payment, and then miscellaneous provisions. That doesn't really say much there. I don't like the fact that it says Upshur County in there for performable. I would rather that be Hill County, Texas. And sorry, I didn't think how did that go? Well, because they're dirty sons don't put it in there. So I mean, they're fine attorneys put that in there. So that's the only real change I see there. There is no indemnity clause here or anything that's going to cause us issues with that. Clearly, they've worked with government agencies before. Part 2 is the scope of services, and it's a longer document, like it's 20 pages, but it lays out what they're going to do, and they're going to have some conferences. Originally, they envision they might even have to acquire the property for some of this right away. I'm being told by Post Oak Water Supply that no, they have all the right away, all the easement that they need. They're gonna design how this improvement's gonna work. In 500,000, I thought we were gonna have a really good project. Apparently $500,000 in the water world. Yeah, that don't go far at all. So that's it's pretty straightforward. I think the pipeline increases the largest majority of this and replacing some meters along that. So the firm agrees to hold harmless the county, its officers, employees, and agents from all claims and liability of whatsoever kind of character due to and arising solely out of the negative acts of emissions of the firm, its officers, agents, employees, subcontractors, and others acting or under the direction of the firm. So they're identifying us and not asking for identification the other way. I don't see it. So anyway, you can see it if you want to, not a problem. But part 3 is their payment schedule, how they get paid. Part 4 is the terms and conditions of their work and federal rights compliance. You'll find on the 4th page of part 4. And it goes all the way to the last page there. So again, this is a federal grant, so we have to be in compliance with federal rules. This one,
So the payments will issue the payments and get reimbursed.
that's what I understand. Yes, ma'am. Just like, yeah.
So that's coming through the county
Yes,
for disbursement to contract.
correct.
Is this you?
Yes, sir. For my precinct.
Yeah,
And
technically, yeah. You can-
what they're wanting to do, Byron Water Supply is wanting to connect with them. Byron Water is all groundwater. And Post Oak is all surface water. They want to blend water. And, well, that whole area down there is growing so much, it
They need some help.
needs to be.
Gotta have water.
Gotta have water. And Post Oak has the water, they just don't have the capacity to get it where they need it, so. That's pretty much what this is. I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay. Got a motion and a second to approve the documentation and the county judge to sign the Post Oak water supply documentation.
Do you want to turn and look at this?
I'm happy to have a look at it. You approved me to sign it. I'll take it to him once he says yes. All right, the motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I call the question. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, motion carries. Number 4, discuss and approve Hill County Quarterly Investment Report. I think we're taking no action on that today, I was told. Okay, good. We'll bring that up at next Tuesday's regular meeting. I know everybody's so excited. We're gonna meet so much. It's a few things need to be taken care of. Number 5, discuss and approve interlocal agreement with the Texas Council of Governments in Hill County. This is for the State Homeland Security Program, and we use the reverse 911. It's SMART is the name of it now. It's Everbridge. They call it SMART here. So Smart Weather Services. And this agreement basically allows us to participate, but it does say we're fully responsible for controlling access to and use of the emergency notification system. We've talked about over the years, the county gets access to this, but we can actually let other entities have sub accounts.
Every entity in Hill County can have.
Yeah, so this is something that's done at the COG level and the regional, and we can accomplish more together. But then it has to benefit downstream. So if there's an entity that's interested in this, please feel free to reach out. We just always hesitate. Don't use it for everyday things. Make sure it's emergency, because people tend to start hanging up on you if you use it every day.
One of the big uses of this has been the smaller cities for their water.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that is being used a lot for that.
I make a motion to approve.
Thank you, sir. We have a motion and a second to approve interlocal agreement between Hill County, Texas and our Texas Council of Governments. Is there any further discussion? All right, I call the question. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion shall carry unanimously. Okay, there we go. Got your agreement there. Number 6, discuss and or approve the ratification submission to grant applications for the Hazard Mitigation Grant Program. These are the leftover funds from previous federal disasters, DR 4781 and DR 4798, the severe storms and Hurricane Beryl, respectively. We are applying for funds. You don't get to cut water you don't ask for. And there's no guarantee we're going to get anything, but we'd be remiss if we didn't at least ask. So all we're asking is your permission to ask.
Make a motion.
Motion and second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, we shall ask. All right, number 7, discuss and approve memorandum of understanding between the Humane Society of North Texas and Hill County Sheriff's Department. I think this is.
I have read the.
Good to go? Go. I make a move we approve. Second. All right, motion second to approve, memorandum of understanding for the Humane Society of North Texas and Hill County, Texas. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, I call a question. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, any abstentions, motion carries. That brings us on number 8, discuss and approve annual racial profiling report submission, report for the Hill County Sheriff's Department. What we have is under Texas Occupations Code, Article 2B 0053 requires all law enforcement agencies to submit their annual racial profiling reports to the governing body. The annual racial profiling report of the Hill County Sheriff's Office itself is due for submission. And as part of this article, the Texas Occupations Code, the annual report is also to be submitted to the governing body. So that's to us here. The report itself is complete. It's already been submitted to TCLO, now it's submitted to us, and so we can observe and record it. And you can see what that report looks like. It's 9 pages up front and additional documentation behind it. But it basically lays out what we've done and how that's been accomplished over the last year. Page 3 of 9, you can look at this street address, ethnicity, known prior to stop, which 3,886 times it was not known, and only 40 times it was known. So they keep a lot of data here, but I would make a motion that we observe the report.
Second.
Motion and second to observe and record the racial profiling submission, report submission for the Hill County Sheriff Department for FY 24. Or actually, it's not FY, it's going to be calendar year 2024. I'll call a question. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, any abstentions? Motion carried. There you go now. Number 9, discuss and or approve state plan of operation for the state of Texas and Hill County Sheriff's Office. We have our state plan of operation. Again, this is something that happens from time to time. You can see that there's quite a few definitions, purpose, authority, general terms and condition on page 112. Moving on to the next page. There we go. State plan of operation. The state shall assist the local law enforcement agency with enrollment, property request, transfers, turn-ins, disposal procedures. Adhere to the requirements outlined in this memorandum of agreement between the federal government and the state, the U.S. state and territory, and ensure the MOA amendments and modifications are incorporated into this document. The program participants are notified and acknowledged. So we get some equipment through this program. We have a list. That list is recently been audited. It is complete. I understand. Sheriff Selby, which I appreciate for that. This provides from time to time things that we wouldn't be, things that would be difficult to obtain on our own. Things that we could find useful, but wouldn't be top tier priorities. So getting that from the state makes that a lot easier. So motion and a second. Is there any further discussion regarding this state plan of operation between the state of Texas and Hill County Sheriff's Office? All right, hearing none, I call the question. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, any abstentions? Motion carries. Number 9, discuss and approve state plan. Went there. Sorry. Number 10, discuss under action declare a case roller a salvage surplus for Hill County Commissioner Precinct 3. What kind of cherry item do you have for us today, sir?
It's actually a pretty nice little roller. It's just got age on it. We're looking to upgrade with the sale of our trailers that we had a couple of months ago. So we got enough money out of that and had get a upgrade our rollers, basically what we're doing.
Oh, good deal. So it's
Larry's having a sale next month, or is this month?
Yeah.
So he's got some stuff on number 11 here.
oh yeah.
And this is the only thing I had, so I was trying to get it in with his, so it wouldn't,
Oh no, that's okay.
stand out.
No, I apologize for that. We try to keep it clean, but yeah. So basically, this thing shows good rollers. Still have.
It might be.
Does your roller roll?
There.
No.
Actually,
Did you?
precinct 1 uses this roller more than we have. Yes, he has.
That's probably why you didn't sell it.
Traditionally, our problem hasn't been rollers rolling, it's rollers stopping. It's caused some issue for us, so.
He's gonna donate it to precinct 2.
Oh, I'll put that in the minutes, so you get that down close, Okay, so, is there a motion to declare this piece of property, this case roller as surplus?
Make a motion.
Second.
Motion and second, any further discussion on this fine cherry surplus roller that only got driven to church on Sundays? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Number 11, discuss an action on selling said case roller, that we previously disposed of as surplus property.
Well, as I mentioned,
You put it on Mr. Auction time or? Okay.
Candidates.
Yeah.
okay, just
Go ahead. Have a motion to sell the case roller previously aforementioned here as surplus property with Cadix Auctioneering Services of Hill County, Texas. Is there a second to that motion?
Yep.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Number 12, discuss and declare items to salvage surplus for Hill County Commission Precinct 2. And this is what I received here. This is the document, right?
Yeah.
Okay. To include an asphalt distributor, a Mack dump truck, a GMC dump truck, a Rhino mower, a / busted brush cutter.
To have it. Good paperweight.
I remember when that was bought about 17 years ago, yeah. An 83 Belshey trailer, 1971 Stevens semi trailer. Is that the folding neck trailer?
No,
Okay. Good.
it's a stiff neck.
A 1963 Hyster forklift, but that's with the caveat, there's 2 safes that came out of this courthouse during the fire that have been stored in precinct 2 for years, and they got to go. And when I say safes, before anybody gets an idea that, hey, this is something I need to take home, you've got to retain this Hyster forklift long enough to load these to get them out of there. One weighs 9,000 pounds and one weighs a little over 10. Yeah, there's a reason they got stuck there. Those cracked stairs over here on the south side of the courthouse, that's what cracked them. They put a chain around them and pulled them out. When they put the chains around them, they pulled the knobs and the handles off of them. So they're pretty rough condition. But we're going to let the world know we're selling these. I don't want anybody upset. Are you selling a piece of history? It's an 11,000 pound piece of history.
2 of them.
2 of them. Well, one's not yet.
And the caveat is they gotta go with the lift.
No, the lift has to stay there long enough to load these fine pieces of equipment.
Oh, I
on
see.
someone else's trailer. Literally, we don't own anything that will pick them up.
That's the only thing I took them up.
Yeah, that is the only piece of equipment in the county that will pick these things up how much they weigh.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, but they're full. So when they build these old safes, they use steel plate, poured plate, they also pour concrete in them. So the scrapyard doesn't want them because most of the weight's concrete. They're just kind of, anyway, they'll be on Cadix Online Auctioneering, hopefully, you too can bid on them. But we don't have any way to load them if the loader leaves first.
You better have a place that you can unload.
Better have a concrete
That's
slab.
where to take it.
That's what I'm saying. People don't understand the weight on these things. The reason they got stuck out there is they're just. Yeah, anyway, okay, that's a different
We've
story.
been there a while.
Yes, sir, they're gone. So bridge forms, so previous commissioner, a couple back, bought a bunch of forms to build box culvert, but they're incomplete, so you can't do anything with them. 1,000-gallon fuel tank, 7-ton backhoe rock bucket, some recap tires, power washer from Whiteco, that grain trailer, and the welding and generator trailer. I'm sure that he would sell any of this to his fellow commissioners for a small nominal fee.
Yeah, yeah, if he.
like I mentioned a while ago, we're trying to upgrade.
That's the logo. Anyway, so there is quite a bit of stuff here, but this is the requested item to declare as surplus, because all of these things, I guess, technically even the safes still have some value for their originally intended purpose. I don't know what it would be.
Make a motion.
Second. Motion and second to declare the aforementioned items that on this fine list of items to sell dated February 25 as surplus material. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, any abstentions, motion carries. And then, of course, selling that, do you want to sell?
Use Mr. Cadix. I need to move around.
All right, we have a motion from precinct 2, Commissioner Crumpton to sell the aforementioned items to Mr. Cadix, and a second from precinct 3, Commissioner Hawkins. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Number 14 is discussion action to installing 35-mile-an-hour speed limit sign on Hill County Road 1240.
That's actually to set a public hearing. for
Perfect. Good deal.
Installing 35-mile-an-hour speed limit, because we'll have to do that before we can do that.
Okay, what date and time do you want to set that meeting? So better do it now, that way you post your notice of both ends of the road, take it all over places.
How far out do we need to go?
I think we talked last time about regular meetings in April. That's what we could fly.
Let me fix that, we get it on, let's see, we put it on the session meeting on the 18th.
No, the public hearing, we're gonna have to post notice of it for 20 days, minimum.
So
So the first available time would be at least the first meeting in April, maybe the second meeting in April, if we will vote. But I think the first meeting in April will work out.
I think it would.
that
Yeah.
8th,
Yeah, the eighth. Let's do the
I
eighth.
think that's when you said
So,
last.
yeah, let's do them all at once, set public hearing, April eighth.
I sure hope the sheriff's department will monitor it.
I'm sure they will.
Speed is it?
Absolutely.
Every-
Say there, it says, yep,
No, you're right, Commissioner. People will be reckless in these roads and,
well, that one particular, and if that's gonna be part of the run up to the city school zone. Once that gets approved, we're gonna need to slow them down before they get there.
go. That was a motion. Do I hear a second? Motion is second, ladies and gentlemen. Any further discussion on setting a public hearing on April 8, 2025, a regular meeting of the Hill County Commissioners called for a public hearing regarding the 35-mile-an-hour speed limit for Hill County Road 1240. Hearing no discussion, I'll call a question. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, any abstention, motion carries. Number
Needed an inverted speed bump there.
Yeah, we had that conversation.
That's what was there.
Spikes on top of it.
Okay, hey, there we go. Now we
Entirety.
No. The entirety of the county portion of the road, which runs up to the Whitney ISD. And they're in the process, they finished the traffic study. And they're going through the motion of turning that into a school zone.
Okay, I was just. Word the notice correct.
Yeah, so we're gonna go from the school zone back to the north,
Back to 1248.
back to the west,
Back to the
1248, okay.
East.
East 1248, got it. Okay, good deal.
Right, Bill?
Got it.
Making notes. Okay, number 15, discussion and take action on going out for proposals for liability and property insurance. It's been a couple of years. We need to go out for bids to see what's out there, so we can get a better deal. Or at least get our current provider to lower their bid, lower their costs. So I make a motion that the county go out for bids for property and liability insurance.
Second.
Motion to second, any further discussion? We've had TAC for years, no one's ever beat them yet, but what I say, keep them honest. That's all right, well, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, any abstention, motion carries. Number 16 is discuss and or approve advertising for county supplies, offsite and on-site fuel, oil, road materials, corrugated steel pipe, petroleum supplies and emulsions, treated lumber, all types of road-based contract refreshing service, concrete corrugated box and box culvert construction, contract for hauling, mobile truck, heavy equipment, washing services, scrap metal bits, and other supplies or services to be effective April 1st. The fuel, let's address that. That's always been something that we've dealt with. Going to this Voyager program, it's a state bid hard. If you guys are getting fuel offsite, we're not gonna have to worry about bidding it, because the Voyager program is what the county approved to use. But if you have fuel on site, your yard, we still have to bid the on-site fuel. Does that distinction make sense? If you've got fuel coming to, like I know you used to, you still do
That's
get
good.
tanker trucks.
Yes, sir.
So anybody that's getting fuel on site, we've got to bid that, but the off-site is covered by the Voyager card, so we don't worry about that one. Yes, ma'am.
And then precinct 4, well, precinct 1 and 4 are kind of different because they go.
I know that, but I wasn't gonna say it to the face.
They don't actually have type.
Second.
Moving right along. Susan, did you get that email on the materials?
Yes.
It's two new vendors.
Yeah, and please, if anybody has a vendor they use, make sure you get their name and number to the auditor or get them to reach out. Last year, we had troubles, we had some changes in vendors' names and people didn't get where they needed to go. And sometimes the vendors won't, and it blows my mind because they're doing business with us, but just make sure you reach out to all your vendors so that we can make sure to include them in the list.
record changing your name?
I don't
Yes,
know the answer to that.
Canfield Material.
Oh, see, learned
She
something.
she has all that contact information.
She sent that email 2 days ago, thank you.
Yep.
Okay. But that's gonna be important, again,
Yeah, and they're out for an air permit right now, scheduled to open April 1st.
so my question is, these bids are gonna be open April 1st, when do we need to meet?
Well, when does the paper run? I don't.
The paper runs on Thursdays, so if we could get something in before noon today, they would run for you. I think noon today is the deadline for getting in Thursday paper.
Okay, so we would get. So that would get it through the 20th, so you could take action on the 20th. Or April 1st, I guess.
I think we should have a special meeting. Yeah, you develop a sense of humor in what you're doing.
You got to.
Yeah, I'll address that problem.
So that and start drinking.
Yeah, no, we tried that. Okay, so that's the list. If you guys, and remember, we put that, or actually, was filling in all other supplies. If you have something, you know, you're gonna spend 50,000 or more on, let us know, we'll do that. If you're not buying it off the Bible already, you're buying it off the contract, like in the tires one time. Well, we buy most of those tires, we have state contracts for those tires. So we don't have to worry about it. The state's already done the legwork and bid it, and they've got a state contractor, a purchase cooperative. We're good, but if you come with something, say, hey, we're gonna either, they were gonna spend 50,000 on the, we're gonna get close to that 50,000 mark. Let's just throw it in there and get a bid so we make sure.
So I had a question for you on the fuel.
Yes, sir.
I have plans to put in a fuel depot at some point, and I'm not sure the timing of that
I would go ahead and bid.
within the bid process.
I would go ahead and get somebody to bid on that fuel, what they charge you. You don't necessarily have to take them up on the bid. It's just that if you're going to have on-site fuel, you need to go through the bidding process.
And that has to be specific delivery to.
Yes, sir. I don't notice much anymore. Used to, there was a pretty good variable in change between delivery spots in Hill County. What they charged to deliver to him versus you was pretty, it was a couple cents involved. I don't think I see that as much as we used to, but we still do it by precinct. I know there used to be other options too. I think everybody uses the same folks now for fuel.
I don't think they're gonna.
Oh, that's right. No, you still get semi truckloads. I forgot about that. That's, yeah. So.
And we would probably still get deliveries from Scott Oil,
Mhm.
since they're right there.
Yeah,
We just wouldn't have to go there to get it.
yeah, it's 10 miles, 4 miles from you. So yeah, get bids. I would say get bids out of front caution. You look and see.
Yes. Your that?
Sir,
Would you hear from him?
See, he's thinking about getting on-site fuel sometime during the year. Our proposition is just go ahead and bid it now. That way you've got the numbers, so when it's time to do it, you can just, you don't have to worry about going out to bid again.
there's some kind of regulation on the fuel depot, you'll need to go with the state.
See,
I'm sure.
That's Commissioner Burns, all he has. Yeah.
Just be sure you get a tank that'll hold a transport. At least 6,000 gallons.
Good. All right. Anything further for this? And do I hear a motion? Do I have a bid? I have a motion. Is there a second? Motion is second to go out for bid for county supplies. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Last but not least, I'm going to take my opportunity for open forum now to discuss what's going on. It's no secret that the governor has announced, I am his choice to be appointed to the 66th Judicial Court to fill a vacancy left by Judge Lee Harris when he was appointed to the 10th Court of Appeals. The governor has transmitted that the Senate has sent it for hearing. I have waived my hearing, so they will not require me to go to Austin for the hearing. And I'm expected to be confirmed sometime between the week of the 10th and 14th. So that means next week will still start with me. That being said, I'm trying to quickly wrap up what we have here. This subdivision rules and regs, I'm going to push to get them done this week. They have to be done this week. I know everybody's busy, but I need that done. We're still working on an OSSF order to update the 2008 order. Just got a lot of time and trouble with that. In the meantime, we're also trying to assist with a few minor things we can do right now upstairs. So it's busy. It's really busy. It's been a pleasure serving you gentlemen all these years. been a pleasure, serving the citizens of Hill County, and I thank them for allowing me to hold this job for this long. It's been one of the greatest joys of my life to come here to work every morning. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna miss it in some capacity, but I look forward to the challenges upstairs, learning something new and doing something new. Go easy on whoever it is you replace me with, because ultimately that's your choice. We're not gonna move near as fast as we're moving now. I'm sure that upsets everybody. But that being said, it took me 4 years to learn the job, and before to get decent at it, I believe. So it's gonna take a little bit of time. But it's really been probably one of the greatest honors of my life to be allowed to be the county judge for the last 18 years, and I thank you all for working with me and allowing me to do it. So that's all I got to say. I'll keep you guys in the loop, but next Tuesday is our regular meeting, and I still plan on being here for that.
Good.
All right,
Thank you for your service.
thank you. Oh, and last but not least, I will not just take the oath and run, as they say. One of my last official acts out the door is I will set the special meeting in order that you gentlemen may meet and pick my replacement. I ask you not to tattle it, not to drag it out, simply because there was too much going on in the county judge's office for it to sit idle for 2 weeks. They just can't do that. So I know,
We like the way Crumpin gets through.
I know, I mean, that's pretty efficient. That's. He got a little worried with that. He said, like, let's say it's like.
Did you just make a motion?
Not yet.
All right.